I thought it might be a good idea to do a YouTube video explaining how to use this Scroungers file. When you get the file, the first thing you need to do is list all the bowlers down here who are likely to bowl in Scroungers. Now, to save some time, I've got some names here which we can copy and paste. So we just copy that lot over there and go to the results, left click where we want them to be, do a right click, paste special values. Please use paste special values all the time. Then we've got to find their brought forward average, so we come over here and I've put in some pretend averages. They're probably stupid, but anyhow, it'll give us something to work with. Copy and right click, paste special values. Okay. Now, as the bowlers come into on the day of the tournament to pay their money, to make this whole thing work properly, you must put a Y. So as they pay their money, put a Y. All these names can be in alphabetical order, which will make it easier for you to find them by clicking here. And they're in alphabetical order according to the first word. So if you use the surnames, they'll be alphabetical surnames. If you go the other way, alphabetical Christian names, obviously. Up to you. So I'm just pretending that all these people have decided to bowl on the day. How many have we got there? 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now, when you're ready to print the cards, I'll assume these are the only people who are bowling for the day. We click on this box here to bring all the people who have paid to the top. Okay, now to get them into overall average, their overall average obviously is brought over here, exactly the same, of course, brought forward. So we click on here and that then sorts them from top average to lowest average of the ones who are bowling. Now, let's assume that we want the top 4 players playing together. So we come over here, do a left click, drag down, do a right click, we do left click on copy, we come over to the 4-player card, left click in there, right click, paste special values, okay. Then we've got to get their averages, which is either this column or this column, it's the same. Okay, now let's say they're going to play on ring 6, we put a 6 in there. Now you're ready to print the cards, so we'll just click on here to print the cards. Once it's finished, I'll show you what it looks like. Now, to print the cards, you'll need to get a ream of 250 grams per square metre, 250 GSM paper. Officeworks has it in reams for about $16, and you need to cut that up, the sheets up to cards that measure 90 centimetres by 130 centimetres. Okay, now that was a 4-player card that we just printed, and that looks like that. As you can see, there's 4 names across the top with their averages underneath their names, and the ring number up in the top corner there, up here. Okay. Now when we click the print button on here, it automatically printed the card as you saw, and it took all the information out of this box ready to print the next card. Now let's say the next card is you want 3 players, so you've done 1, 2, 3, 4, we need 3 players, and we stick their names over in here. It seems a bit messy, but once you get used to it, I'm sure you'll do it in no time flat. Okay, well they played on rink 6, so we'll put them on rink 7. Okay, and click on here and it'll print the 3-game card. I'll just wait till it prints and I'll show you the difference. As you saw with this one, the 4-game card, it was 4 across, which gets a little bit tight in the name area. With the 3-game card, it looks like that. We've got the three names at the top again, and then their averages, and there's more room on the card. Okay. Now, as you can see here, if a bowler scores 0 points, that means in the game it must be entered as a 0, otherwise this calculations won't work. And we enter a 0 in the brought forward column for new bowlers. So let's say he was a new bowler, we put a 0 in there. Okay, so we're ready to play the first game, and we're getting the scores in from the first game. I've got no idea what a good score is, so I'm only guessing here, but let's see, it's something like this. Oops. Oops, I've gone too far, obviously. These people aren't bowling. I've got my brains not working today. There we are, we'll get rid of that. Okay, to get rid of them, I just highlighted them and press the delete on the keyboard. If you want to delete something, don't click on the cell, do a right click and left click on delete there, because you'll run into trouble. You must highlight the cell and just press the delete on the keyboard. Okay, so after we put those game scores in, those two have been added together and it's changed our overall average over here. It's also given you an average for the 3 games. Obviously it's only averaging 1 game at this stage, but that will change as we go along. Now to print your after round 1 cards, you just click on the rank button and that ranks them from highest to lowest. Well, let's say we're still going to put 4 on the first on the first card. Just highlight the 4 names, bring them over here, bring the averages over, change the rank number and print the card, and away you go. So let's just say we'll put the next scores in. Okay, so now we've got a 3-game average. That's those two added together. 21 and 15, 36 averages 18, 36 game points for the first 2 games. And we'll just whack these in for the 3rd game. Save me mucking around. So that's what your card's going to look like, or your results sheet's going to look like at the end of the day. So if you're going to pay out on the most points for the day, you just click that one. That's a 3-game average, which is the same. And then this one here is your rankings improvement. And that's the difference between the overall average, which is these 4 games added together, and what you started with. Well, obviously it's a new bowler, so that's not going to work too good. We go to the next one. They've increased their average from 13.25 to 1781, so that's their improvement. So they're other than the new bowler, they're the highest improved over their starting average. You said you wanted that figure. Okay, now with the printing, you might run into some trouble with it not fitting exactly on your cards. That's a 4-player card, looks like. If you go into File, Print, Page Setup, you can fiddle around with the margins and also adjust the normal size. Like I've got it set at 95% of normal size to make it fit properly. If you run into trouble with that, please just give me a call and I'm sure we can sort it out on the phone. My phone number is, if you're ready, 02 4389 1138. Now obviously at the end of the day, so you can use this information for next week, you want to get rid of all this week's rubbish. You don't need to get rid of the names because that's going to be your database. That's going to be there all the time unless you want to take some of it out. Let's say Robert Young decides not to be bowling at your club anymore. Just left click his name and use the delete key on the keyboard and get rid of his average, highlight the average and left click on the keyboard. If you want to add a new name, well, it's just obviously just as easy as that. You just type it in. Now, as I said, you want to get rid of all this rubbish for next week. So we have a button up here that clears all the information out of here. It takes all of that information out, takes all that information out and moves the overall average over to there so that your overall average will be up to date for next week. So we just click that and away it goes. Okay. Jeff Graham's a new bowler, so it just needs a 0 in there. As it says here, I'm sorry if I've already done it, but this is very important. If a bowler scores 0 points, it must be entered as a 0, and a 0 in the brought forward column for new bowlers, which I've just done. Okay, that's about it. Oh yeah, the cards. I don't think did I tell you about the cards? I'll go again. They're 250 GSM paper. I think I did tell you. 250 GSM paper from Officeworks, and you've got to cut them to 90 centimetres by 130 centimetres. Please just give me a call if you run into any trouble. Catch you later.